Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633 and today I'm bringing a review of the Clash of the Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015 Warrior Class Megatronus. Now, this is actually the technical variant of the Megatronus that is supposedly being released out as of right now. This figure was actually reported a while back that this was found on store shelves, but it seems like it wasn't until recently where I was able to find it, and sounds like a few other people are able to find it over the last couple of months. But, as you can see, what makes this a variant is that supposedly Hasbro has reported, well, not Hasbro directly, but through the toy listings and various other locations, there's going to be another version of Megatronus with actually his regular face and so on and so forth. This version is actually one with his battle mask. As you can see, his face is not featured here, since the battle mask is pretty much just molded on instead. Anyways, we'll take a look at the box. As you can see, it does say that it's a Toys R Us exclusive. And other than that, it pretty much doesn't give you much of another indication that this is any different box-wise besides that sticker and the back being different, obviously, since it shows this version of Megatronus. And unfortunately, as you can see, the box is pretty beat up. Just how I ended up getting it. But anyways, we'll take a look at Megatronus itself. Now, as you can see, the weapon is attached to the side of his arm, but if you wanted to do a more traditional way of holding the weapon, he is able to hold on to it pretty well, though it is a bit on the small side. It's still accurate in terms of shape, per se, but just size-wise, it is a bit small. But other than that, that's pretty much it for that weapon, so we're just going to take it out to the side and go on to the articulation points. His articulation is pretty decent for what it is. It's pretty good for a Robots in Disguise toy of the 2015 show. His head is on a swivel, and it can kind of bend upwards and forwards, but not by too much. He has full movements in the shoulders, but it's really tight. Can bend outwards. Can kind of bend back and forth a bit due to transformation. He does have ratchets in the elbows, and his wrist kind of have articulation, but it's not really articulation point since it is due to transformation. He does have a full 360 waist articulation. His hips have full movement, being on ball joints. He can swivel up here, bend at the knee, and that's pretty much it for articulation. So it is pretty decent articulation, but it's definitely not the most articulated Transformer out there. Obviously, since it is a part of the Robots in Disguise 2015 line, it does have the QR code here. And then, the back, it just has a bunch of hollow pieces, which is a bit distracting, but not the worst I've seen. Transformation is pretty simple, but it's pretty cool, actually. First, to make it easier, we're going to turn the hands around and collapse them here. Collapse the wrists into the arms. Open up the chest. Turn these around like this. Push away the head. Pull these forward using the ratchets and snap them into place. So now you got the top part of his vehicle mode done. What you're going to do next is open up the panels on both sides of the legs. I'm going to turn them around so that they face this direction like this on both sides. We're going to peg in the leg component there on both sides there. So it looks like this. It does kind of become a little bit fidgety when trying to putting it together, so there you go. And then you're going to pull these forward, since they become the front part of the treads. And you're just going to snap them into place. And there you have Megatronus in his tank mode. Now, Megatronus has a pretty interesting looking tank mode. At the bottom, it does have 4 large plastic wheels. It can roll pretty decently on any surface. I think harder surfaces will definitely work better than the softer surfaces. And what's cool is that this piece actually can turn, but pieces do get in the way, so you're pretty much getting just about that amount of movement, and it will unpeg itself if you're not careful. Next, in this mode, you can actually attach the weapon underneath here in a gap. So what you're going to do is Push it inward, slide into place, and there you have a tank with a giant blade at the end, which looks a bit strange, but it's pretty cool. Now, it does have a slight reminiscing shape of Prime Shockwave, just the way the giant cannon was on his arm. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the tank mode. Since I don't currently own the standard version, since it's not out yet, I think this mode is better for at least this toy automatically. I'm not sure how much different the transformation is going to be in this part of the toy, but because of the battle mask, it's hidden. I'm not sure how they're going to approach that in the regular version, since it doesn't really hide anywhere. It just sits there. So I think the head's going to be exposed here. So as long as you look at it from the side, I think that version will be okay. But up here is where I'm kind of worried how it's going to look. I may or may not get the standard version, since I really like the battle mask design of him. But it all depends what happens. I'll be back to talk about my final thoughts on the figure. Now, Megatronus is definitely not the most complex toy in the entire toy line, but I still think he does have a lot to offer, and the sculpt is pretty decent for what it is. It'll be interesting to see how Takara's take on the toy will look like, and maybe if they make a larger version of the figure, it'll be pretty cool as well, which obviously does not include the large figure, the Mega 3-step, or whatever they call it, version that's already out in the States. But I definitely think this is the far superior version compared to that one, since it is definitely more in scale with the Deluxe class Optimus or Warrior class Optimus, and overall I still think this Megatronus is a pretty nice toy. Now, it is kind of hard to get a hold of recently, since I'm not sure exactly how the case packs for Megatronus is, since they just started popping up. I only saw them not too long ago. I only saw a few on the shelf, so I'm pretty sure he's kind of short-packed overall. So I definitely think Megatronus is still worthwhile pickup, especially since I don't know what's going to happen with the standard release without the battle mask. So this is probably your best bet for now. So overall, it's sad to also hear that the Transformers Robots in Disguise cartoon is going to be cancelled after Season 2. It's pretty much been confirmed that it's going to end, and it's a bit of a shame since a lot of the Decepticon designs are pretty cool. Obviously, there was a bit of the strange side ones, but it'd be nice if it continued for at least another season or so. But fortunately, that's just how time goes. But anyways, I still think this is a worthwhile pickup, especially if you are a Transformers fan, Robots in Disguise fan, or just want a cool Transformer to play around with. But anyways, please comment and subscribe, and check out Hirotaku and the Gideon blog as soon as they reopen. Also, please check out my Twitter handle under Darkon633, and also check out the other channels down below, including the WW podcast and more. But for now, I'll be seeing you on YouTube. Bye.